Today we're looking at the build to WrestleMania 42. We're going to take each individual match, look at the storylines, and rank them from worst to best. Now, before you say that I stole this idea from Sante Zap, no, you're wrong. I actually stole it from Simon Miller. I didn't watch his video, but I did see his thumbnail and the title of his video, and I thought that was a cool idea. So I thought, you know what? Let's steal it. All right, let's start off controversially. The worst build of all of WrestleMania 42 is the ladder match. Now, hear me out. I am not saying that this will be the worst match of WrestleMania 42. I'm saying it's the worst build match. There's no story here, and the little story they do have makes no sense. For one, it's the fact that they announced the participants to this matchup before they actually showed the matchups, the qualifying matches. Literally, Penta said, I want to do a ladder match, and then they were like, Rusev, JD McDonough, Dragon Lee, and Javon Evans are going to be in the match. And then, about a week later, they showed them qualifying. Now, why we don't have Grande Americano in the ladder match when Penta and the Luchadors have been kind of feuding with him? I don't know. Why Kofi Kingston's not in the ladder match when he's kind of feuding with or in a storyline with Javon Evans? I don't know. Why Rey Fenix isn't in the ladder match when he's literally Penta's brother? I don't know. But when it's all said and done, the next week on Raw, Rey Mysterio just comes out and says, I want to be in the ladder match too, and then he gets in the ladder match, and then everybody celebrates. Like, this makes no sense whatsoever. Why did those guys have to qualify, but Rey Mysterio did it? Why were their qualifying matches aired after they were announced to be in the match? It's like, yeah, the build sucks. But let's just put that aside for a second. Penta just decided, I'm going to put my title on the line in a ladder match. That's kind of like, I mean, I get it. He wants to be a fighting champion, but that's a little crazy. At least Penta say, I will face one person in a ladder match, but for a champion to just say, I'll face multiple competitors, well, that's not really a smart thing to do. But it will be a phenomenal match, that's for sure. Next up is the women's tag team matchup. It's a fatal four-way as of right now. The Bellas, Charlotte and Alexa Bliss, Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, and the Irresistible Forces, Lash Legend and Nia Jax. Now, just a couple months ago, the women's tag team division was red hot, and I think it got hot too quick, and Triple H tried to prolong the story to the point that it kind of lost all momentum. And it didn't help that they took Rhea Ripley out of the tag team division and put her into a matchup. That destroyed, I believe, what the storylines were all revolving around. The Io Rhea tag team, along with the Kabuki Warriors, were kind of the epicenter of the chaos that was the women's tag team division and what was making it so interesting. Now, Nia and Lash Legend, they're good champions. I do like them as champion, but if you look at the storyline right this second, it's kind of lame. We had Lash and Nia, they fought Charlotte and Alexa, and then the Bellas caused a DQ. And then the Bellas fought Lash and Nia. Then Alexa and Charlotte caused a DQ. And then they fought Lyra and Bayley, but then the Bellas and Charlotte and Alexa caused a DQ finish. So they were just like, oh, fatal four-way. It was just like every single week, it was just a match that was going to end in an inevitable disqualification. No real storyline here other than I want the belt and I'm not going to let other people get the belt. That's it. Next up is a shocker to me in that it's Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee. For one, I love Becky Lynch. She's the best in the world. That's not just me saying it. That's Sports Illustrated. And two, AJ Lee was one of my all-time favorite women wrestlers. And when she returned, I was super hyped. However, this return of hers happened, last September? And in that matchup, she fought Becky Lynch in a mixed tag team match. Then she fought Becky Lynch in a War Games match. Then she fought Becky Lynch at a one-on-one match and won the title last month in February, or 2 months ago in February. So, this feud has just been going on and on and on, and AJ Lee will take long extended breaks in between, and then the feud just picks up the moment she gets back. It's like, I don't know. I'm just over it. And as of right now, there's no stipulation. And I think we're revolving the story around who Becky Lynch's daughter's favorite wrestler is. I think that's where we're at with this storyline. So yeah, not very excited. But what I am excited about is hitting 20,000 subscribers, because that means I'll give away this belt on my shoulder, or any other belt that's ever been on my shoulder. The winner gets to pick which belt they want. It's not a toy, people. It's a replica, and by the way, to win it, all you gotta do is comment below and subscribe to the channel. All right, the next worst build is Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill. Now, honestly, this build has kind of sucked as well. It's suffering from the fact that Bianca Belair was not medically cleared to face Jade Cargill. I think when that matchup fell apart, they were just like, Rhea Ripley? Here you go, and they put Rhea in this match. It probably should have been Charlotte, to be honest with you, and they could have kept the women's tag team division hot, but they put Rhea here. And it started off with them just saying, my muscles are bigger than you. And then the next week, it started off with, you have no friends. And I'll tell you this, it was more interesting when they were legit beefing on Twitter and social media, and then it's now turned into B-Fab and Meacham behind Jade Cargill, and Io Sky has now gotten back in the mix. But then Jade Cargill beats up Io, and Io becomes totally helpless, even though Io is one of the most dominant women in the division, and Rhea has never even beaten her. I mean, they're trying really hard, but it seems to be miss after miss after miss. The fact that there are 3 other matches below this build is actually more telling to those other 3 matches, that they have almost non-existent storylines here, because this is a story. There is a story here. It's just not a well-told story. Number 9 should not be number 9. It's kind of criminal that it's number 9, and that's Dominic Mysterio versus Finn Balor. They have so much history that this should have been just an easy home run. This feud, this whatever happened, it's been going on way too long. The last WrestleMania, Dominic Mysterio stole Finn Balor's IC title win in a fatal 4-way match. That's how long we've been teasing this breakup. In fact, we've been teasing even longer. And so now when they finally do pull the trigger, what have they really done with it since then? When Dominic Mysterio and the Judgment Day kicked Finn Balor out, he didn't even show up the next week. And then when he does show up, it's like he gets, 5 minutes of TV? This feud is not getting any time whatsoever, so it's just, insane to me. They have, this long history, and they're barely given any TV time. And then we actually get the Demon. We're getting the Demon. But how do they reveal that the Demon is coming? Via ESPN. These are the matches that you're gonna see. They just put the Demon on the card graphic. Why is the Demon showing up for Dominic Mysterio? There's literally only one other dude that is helping Dom, and that's JD McDonough, who is part of another match at WrestleMania. Why does Finn Balor suddenly feel the need to bust out the Demon? It's just not explained. It's not explained. And I've wanted the Demon, but there's no justifiable story to bust him out after so long. And then the reveal, it's like, oh, okay, imagine that pop. Imagine that pop if the Demon had just shown up. Right? Am I right? Am I wrong? Number 8, Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan. It started off good. I did like how it started off, where Liv Morgan was being called out for just being a product of WWE, but Liv Morgan then started saying things like, you know what? I'm sorry that you failed your first try. So it was getting personal based on their backstory, but then it just kind of stopped. It just kind of stopped and just became, I'm going to blindside and attack you next week. And then the following week, the other person gets their revenge. The most interesting thing since those promos in the beginning, Stephanie Vaquer accidentally caused Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez to bump heads, and they're in concussion protocol right now. And then she threw her through a TV. So I like that, but again, just the constant, I'm going to beat you up is not enough of a storyline. Somehow, some way, Seth Rollins and Gunther, number 7. They've had, 2 weeks? They've had a cup of coffee to tell some kind of story, and, well, I guess it's there. You tilt your head and squint, there is a story here. And the story is Gunther is attacking Seth Rollins for some unbeknownst reason while getting a favor from Paul Heyman in the bank. So it's like, it's not much of a story, but there's something there at least. There's kind of a mystery to it. Why is Gunther attacking? And Seth Rollins didn't play the stupid baby face. We're like, I don't know what's going on. He literally said, all I can think of is that Paul Heyman made a deal with Gunther. But then we find out later that Gunther and Paul didn't make a deal. So honestly, I am a little intrigued by this matchup. Like, why is Gunther attacking Seth Rollins? Number 6, Cody versus Randy. It's like they went out of their way. They went out of their way to make me less interested in Randy and Cody. Multiple reasons why. I get it. This one, Triple H is absolved of the Pat McAfee inclusion, which has lessened my interest. Now, there's a part of me that was like, being like, yeah, Pat, I am a forgotten fan. There's a part of me that did get interested in the things that Pat McAfee had to say. But that should have been over there while Cody and Randy were over here. Pat could have said everything separate from this feud. He was not needed for the inclusion of this feud. I will say that they did turn Randy Orton heel, which was a great start. I felt it should have been Cody, but hey, you know what? We did Randy. It was off to a decent start. I was happy that it wasn't going to be babyface versus babyface, even though everybody was cheering Randy Orton. And I was waiting for them to get into their history, kind of like Dirty Dom and Finn Balor. I wanted to hear this history, but even more so right here. We've been waiting 2 years for this feud, and we finally got it. And we got over the pull apart brawl, which was really lame and boring. And we're about to get to that point where they're going to just go lay into each other and their history together because Randy Orton was the mentor of Cody Rhodes. And then what? Then Pat McAfee shows up, and it just like, left turn, sudden left turn, and it's like, I was getting invested. This feud didn't need it. It didn't need it whatsoever, and it actually lowered my interest. Shut up, you nerd. Pat McAfee, he's the next Sylvester Stallone. IShowSpeed, Logan Paul, Austin Theory versus the Usos and LA Knight. This build shouldn't be as good as it is. It all revolves kind of around IShowSpeed, to be honest with you. The Usos inclusion, Austin Theory, not so much, but it feels like it's more of a Danhausen IShowSpeed thing going on that caused IShowSpeed and LA Knight to start a program. And the build, honestly, has not been bad. It's not taking itself too serious. LA Knight's gone on a live stream to an IShowSpeed show and attacked him in his house because that's what LA Knight does. Yeah, just like home invasions. And yeah, you know, this is kind of like, it's kind of like that WrestleMania just fun match. The WrestleMania fun match. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with IShowSpeed. They didn't give him a one-on-one because, well, they probably didn't think he could do a full match. So they're going to hide his weaknesses behind Logan Paul and Austin Theory. I get it. But yeah, you know, it's just fun. Somehow, some way, they've made me interested in this. I think it was the live stream and just the crazy predicaments that they keep putting IShowSpeed in, and he's just like, I don't want to be here. Don't want to be here. I don't want to be a part of this, but he is. And when I see their segment on, I stop what I'm doing. I want to see what's going to happen to IShowSpeed next. So while not the greatest storyline for the Usos as a whole, the build has been surprisingly good. All right, we're at the final 4, and I'm going to put Trick Williams and Sami Zayn right here. This has been a really good feud. I do not think they needed to add the U.S. title to this feud, unless they were going to put just Carmelo Hayes and make it a triple threat, which they should have done that. But right now, it's just a one-on-one affair. I love it. I love that Trick is just everything he's done and said to Sami Zayn. I love that he stole his pyro. I love that he's been kind of just being the upstart rookie, making fun of the aging veteran, and the veteran couldn't get any wins, and I just loved Sami crashing out. And then Sami wins the title from Carmelo Hayes in a very dastardly way. So we just see that Sami is inching closer and closer to the dark side, while Trick Williams, everyone just loves him to the point that he can only stay a heel for so long. So I just love that they're really leaning into this. I love that Trick Williams is just taking all the spotlight for himself, and Sami is just like, what is going on here? It's just a really well-told mid-card storyline, honestly. Now, don't get me wrong, I would rather it be a triple threat. I want Carmelo Hayes to still be included in this match, but with or without Carmelo, I'm still putting this as my number 4 best storyline going on for WrestleMania. Number 3 is Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. This has been a very long storyline that has actually progressed every week. It wasn't like AJ and Becky Lynch, where their storyline has been very long, but they would just stop it, just complete stops in between story beats. But Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre have been pretty much going on since the beginning of the year, honestly. And it just keeps escalating and escalating and escalating to the point where there's car crashes, they're falling off scaffolds and stuff, and now they're just like, okay, all the talking's done. Let's just have a big beat 'em up at WrestleMania. Yeah, you know what? This is a storyline that Drew McIntyre, he's not looking weak, and it's elevating Jacob into the main event scene, and it's just two dudes who hate each other. Two dudes who are just like, you know what? This SmackDown, not big enough for the both of us. So I am putting that number 3. It's a simple story they're telling, but an effective one nonetheless. Number 2. The Tribal Chief versus CM Punk. Now, CM Punk did just lay out a pipe bomb last Monday Night Raw, and I thought that was amazing, but it honestly doesn't have much to do with this feud right here. So I'm just going to put that pipe bomb and throw it over there. Kablooey. Roman and Punk, they have done an excellent job having promo offs. Now, I've had many Easter egg videos on it, and they're very rich with history. They're bringing up the past, something I wish Cody and Orton would do, but these two are doing it, and they're doing it in a very well-told manner, and it's escalating. The only thing that was a big fumble in this storyline was, in the beginning, we had the Usos a part of it. The Usos were a major part of this storyline, and then suddenly they were not. It's like they just stopped showing up, which was weird. But that said, it's still just a really good main event. A good main event feud, bringing up the past, escalating it with physicality when needed, having great promo battles, and, well, you know, it does definitely feel like two main event guys who hate each other. And CM Punk getting more of an edge week by week, not going full heel, but definitely relying on some heel tendencies. And Roman, well, he's never gone fully face. So yeah, this is a highly anticipated match, and I believe it is the right call for the Night 2 main event. And that just leaves the number 1 best build of WrestleMania 42, and that's Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. Honestly, wow. This is the most effective less is more storyline I have seen in forever. Literally, it's one power bomb and my foot on you and the place explodes. Literally, it's one clothesline and the place explodes. Literally, it's just the anticipation of a guy walking down an aisle, not scared of the guy who's in the ring, and then the face-off. This has just been phenomenal. If they had made this the Night 1 main event, I don't think anybody would have blinked. Honestly, I don't. This Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar, so freaking good. I am very happy with this, and gosh, I am so looking forward to this match. It's insane. I think they've done everything right. everything right. Even their pull-apart brawl, which they've done on WWE TV way too much over the last year or two, even their pull-apart brawl was interesting, though. That's how good these two are. That's how good the chemistry and the storytelling between these two are. I hear it everywhere. I think almost everybody is saying that this is the number one or number two best told story going on in WWE right now. And boy, howdy, do I agree. This is the best, in my opinion. So there you have it, boys and girls. What stories do you think are the best told right now heading into 42? Let me know in the comments below. See ya, bye.